Welcome back, popular people. Sean here from popeyeliner.com. And if you're like me, you are constantly ripping your clothes. I don't know how I do it. But instead of just throwing the shirt away, I decided that, hey, I'll do a DIY project on it and turn it into like one of those Ariana Grande bows. So the first thing that I'm doing is just cutting off one of the sleeves. And I'm going to just set the rest of the fabric aside for a future project. You want to make sure that you have an even piece of fabric to work with. So just take a pair of scissors and cut off the end that's going to disrupt that. And set that aside to use it for the rest of the project. Next, I laid out a piece of felt. You can use anything that's going to protect your surface from the iron. And since this shirt is a little wrinkly, I am going to iron it out so that it's very smooth for this project. That's me just ironing away. Once you've completed that, just even up the sides, because I noticed that when I cut it, the fabric was very uneven. So just kind of folded it in half, just to make it easier. And make it as straight as you can, and then take a pair of scissors and just kind of cut it. And when it's open up, it's going to actually be about 5 to 5.5 inches wide, and you can work with it from there. Next, I'm going to take some bonding tape that I found at Michael's craft store, and I'll have a link down below. What you're going to want to do next is take the adhesive and run it along the length of the edge so that you know how long that the piece needs to be cut, and do that to both sides. Once you have cut these, the next thing that you're going to want to do is actually take off the paper backing. Then run both pieces of the adhesive to the edge of each side of the fabric. Now you want to sandwich the adhesive in between the fabrics by just folding the fabric over with the adhesive inside. Now you don't want to burn the fabric, so I suggest that you fold the felt over and then iron from there. Now I use steam on this just because I had started and I didn't realize it, but try not to use steam when you do it, because you're trying to make sure that the bond stays put when you do this, and you're just going to repeat the same steps on the opposite side. So again, just fold the fabric over, fold the felt or whatever material that you have to protect your surface. Now you're protecting your fabric with it, and just go over it a couple of times with the iron. And because this is a shirt and the fabric is doubled, what I'm going to do next, and that you're probably going to have to do if you're using the sleeve, is to repeat the same steps for the inside flaps. So I'm going to measure out, take my adhesive, put the adhesive on the inside, and again repeat those steps of putting the fabric, folding it over, taking the iron over a couple of times, and now the adhesive has bonded to the fabric, and now you have a very smooth edge, and your project is ready to go once you do it to the opposite side. So you're going to repeat this step actually 4 different times if you are using the sleeve of a shirt, because it's doubled, or any fabric that's doubled. This is a very simple and easy project to do. It's a no-sew project, that's why I enjoyed doing it. It didn't take that long, honestly, once I got going. And if you want to repeat this project again in many different ways, I promise the more that you go over and the more that you do it, it will become like second nature, and you'll just kind of like do it with ease. It's a very easy project. Kids can do it. Now that that's done, I'm just evening out my square, so I'm cutting off the edges that have folded over, because of the fact that it was a shirt. It wasn't like a perfect square because it tapers in. Now that piece that I set aside from the beginning, I need a ribbon piece to go in the center of the bow. So I thought it was a very smart idea just to kind of take this little end piece, because again, it's a no-sew project and the edges of this is already finished. So I'm going to cut that little piece off just so that I have a perfect little piece that I can use. I'm going to iron this down and make it flat since it's wrinkled. Again, just applying a little pressure and a little heat. And now that I have a flat piece of fabric, I am going to make an accordion style fold so that my bow looks more like a bow. I'm just trying to see how I want this shape to be. So if I want to do small folds, big folds, just the way that I want it to lay out. I did it a couple times before I was comfortable with it. And once I finally decided on how I wanted to do it, I took the piece that I just cut, and I'm going to put that around the center, and this is what's going to create the bow. And you are going to need another little piece of adhesive so that you can then bond that piece together. So I've cut off the excess, and then I'm taking the little piece. Sorry, I'm off camera with this. I couldn't really see what I was doing because I was looking down. But yeah, so I'm folding that over because I put the little adhesive underneath, and I'm taking the iron and applying a little pressure to this so that the adhesive again is bonding to the fabric. And once this step is complete, I am now fanning out the edges so that the bow is given the shape that I want it in. And there's just one more step of taking a bobby pin and applying the bobby pin to the back so that you have a way to secure it to your head. And once you've done that, your bow is complete and it is ready to wear. So this is what the final product looks like when it's done. It's, again, a very simple project to do and complete. Anyone can do it. If you're young, just get the help of an adult to use scissors and to use the iron. Finally, this is what your Ariana Grande DIY boat is going to look like. Bye!